All right, now we next game I want to talk about Miami against Texas A&M. Both these teams had common opponent in Notre Dame. They played Notre Dame kind of week one, week two. The only two losses Notre Dame saw all year were these two teams. So now we're kind of getting to see these teams play each other. This is at Texas A&M, so at College Station. I know a lot of people are excited to watch this matchup. The spread right now is 3.5 points in favor of Texas A&M, and over under is 48 and a half. This, I think this is going to be a great matchup. If I had to pick this game, I'm not really sure which way I would go, but I know in-season has some stuff to say about that. So I want to get over to in-season AI, let Christian talk about the advanced analytics that we're seeing, and then what in-season AI is telling us. So let's go right over to that.
Yeah, so in-season AI has this game, Texas A&M 86% chance of winning, and our conviction rating on this is high. Really, what that means is we're historically pretty accurate on these type of picks. 87% is our accuracy here, and we think A&M is going to win. And that's kind of, when you see a percentage of 86% chance, usually you see a spread that correlates to something like 17 or 18 points, but having a compressed spread at 3.5 is a little bit interesting. So it's kind of seeing something in the underbelly of the data, of the metrics, of the analytics that either Vegas isn't seeing, or they think that where the market might clear. Looking into the scouting report as well, this is a pretty even matchup. Miami across the board is a solid team, 18th in SP plus offense and 12th in defense, whereas A&M has really been led by, Marcel Reed and their offense. They're 2 in SP plus and still have a solid defense at 22. I'm pretty interested by how this game's going to go. I think that, Carson Beck's had, up and down games this year, and then we kind of forgot about Miami for a while. Given their loss early in the season, but coming into the end of the season and being that bid from the ACC kind of makes this a pretty interesting matchup to understand. A&M went through not the toughest SEC schedule this year, and so a lot of people are saying, hey, they haven't played a lot of great opponents this year, but they still went through the schedule and only lost one game. So I think that's going to be something we're going to note. In this matchup, is it going to be is A&M's offense going to be able to roll through Miami's defense, or is it going to be a little bit more of an even matchup given Miami's strengths?
Right. Yeah. And this is kind of like you said, the last time we saw Texas A&M was against Texas. They did not play their best.
Yeah.
They were on the road. So in a rivalry game. So, that is what it is. It's a rivalry game. Kind of a lot of times feels like you toss the record books out for some of those games. And I know Texas versus Texas A&M always feels like that. But like you said, they went 11-1. They had a easier schedule than most of the SEC teams because just the teams that they ended up playing were not as good. I think it was something like 5 of the 8 teams they played fired their coach. So, but that is the schedule they were given, and the games that they could kind of have more say over, they did go out and they hosted Notre Dame, or actually they went on the road and beat Notre Dame. And so I'm interested to see this game. The kind of other thing that I think will be interesting to watch is losing offensive coordinator Colin Klein. He takes the head coach job, goes back to Kansas State. They've kind of promoted a new offensive coordinator and all of that. Interested to see what the dynamic of all of that does to Marcel Reed and that offense. If they're able to kind of keep going with the trajectory they've been on offensively, or if kind of losing your play caller affects that. And that'll be kind of something we're watching in a lot of these games.
Mm-hmm.
James Madison loses a coach, Tulane loses the coach, Ole Miss loses a coach, Texas A&M loses an offensive coordinator. Like it's based on the schedule, and with the portal opening up in January and the National Signing Day being early December. Like, we're just kind of at this point in college football where it's weird, and you're getting coaches, players that are leaving and things like that in a playoff run. So it's kind of weird, something you wouldn't see in professional sports, because you would never see a offensive coordinator of an NFL team leave during the middle of the year, to take the head coach job of the Carolina Panthers or whatever. but that's kind of where we're at right now, and that's a dynamic that I'm interested in watching in most of these games because that's kind of seems like what's going on in most of these games. Anything else that you kind of wanted to highlight?
No, nothing particularly. I mean, I think that I think the one thing I'm interested in seeing is the outcome of this game, given how our AI is looking at this matchup and really seeing Texas A&M as heavy favorites. I'm interested to see what the outcome of this game will look like. I know it's a noon tip off Eastern time, so it's going to be one of the early ones if you're on the West Coast. But yeah, nothing else to add from an analytics perspective.
Yeah, well, thank you for going through all of that for us and all of our subscribers. If you're new to this, comment, like, subscribe. All of our fans, Texas A&M fans, Miami fans, check us out on X, Instagram, TikTok, and then as always, become an in-season insider today. We'll even put a promo code in for 25% off access by going to inseason.co, and I'll put a link in there as well in the bio of this video.